So I just went through my whole fragrance collection and I was looking through it, specifically looking for the clones that I think perfectly replicate, or essentially as close as they possibly can, perfectly replicate the original fragrance that they're trying to dupe. I picked 4 out that I think do that I think are basically essentially the exact same smell as the original. So if you're into content like this, drop a like, subscribe, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Number 1 on the list, in no particular order, this was probably the biggest cologne of this past winter, the most popular one, the one everybody was talking about, Liquid Brune. So Liquid Brune is probably my favorite winter cologne out of all mine, and I have a good bit. And it's also the closest to the original. This is a clone of PDM's Altair, and man, it smells exactly like Altair. I don't even think, with the tester strip, I don't have a bottle of Altair here to do it for you, but I have smelled Altair and I have worn Altair, so I am familiar with the scent, and I don't think it would be possible to tell a difference. Even somebody that was, into fragrances in the air walking by, zero chance anybody tells a difference. That woody vanilla with slight floral, but the woody vanilla scent profile of Altair, I love. Pretty much anybody that smells it, I think, loves it. And quite frankly, Liquid Brune does it absolutely perfectly for what, like 40 bucks. I think it's going for maybe a little more now since it got popular, but I've had mine for probably like half a year now, and you can't see in the bottle, but there's definitely a massive dent in this bottle because I wore this so much in the winter. And the performance, not as great, I think, as some people on the internet may say. I give maybe 5 to 6 out of this. That's me personally. Some people have said more. I can't say they're lying. I'm just saying in my experience about 5 to 6, but the scent profile itself is perfect to Altair, and I would highly recommend Liquid Brune for a winter fragrance. Next on the list is going to be the most expensive one on this list. Still not that expensive compared to the original, but as far as on this list, the most expensive, it's going to be Game of Spades Wild Card. Now, Wild Card is a clone of Bond Number 9's Lafayette Street, and if you haven't smelled Lafayette Street, it's a bit of a difficult fragrance to explain what it smells like. Cedar is the main note I get with it. It's a bit of a barbershop-y slightly, a little bit of that aftershave barbershop-y feel, but not really. But it's a synthetic smell, but it's synthetic in the best way, like synthetic in a great way. And Wild Card does the Bond Number 9's Lafayette Street perfectly. If you smell Lafayette Street and you like it, you're gonna like Wild Card because it smells the exact same. Now, Wild Card, I think I paid like 60 bucks for mine, as to where the original probably like 500 retail, so no comparison there. But for a cologne that is about as most expensive as you're going to find, and honestly, in my opinion, totally worth it, and I would totally buy it again. One of my favorite fragrances I have in my whole collection, not just in my colognes. It does not smell like a clone at all. It smells like a high-end niche, high-end designer fragrance. Totally worth the money, and you get a really high-quality bottle with a really high-quality atomizer. It's pressurized, all the good stuff. So totally worth it. Perfect clone of Bond Number 9's Lafayette Street. It's going to be Game of Spades Wild Card. All right, next up on the list is going to be Lattafa's Jasur, clone of Valentino Buonarromo's Coral Fantasy. And again, with this one, pretty much perfect, especially this one, maceration, letting it mature for just a few weeks did help this one, but it certainly smelled good right out of the package. But now when I smell it months and months later, it's so good, and it smells, it's pretty much perfect to the original. The only one, I know the original is going to perform a little bit better than Jasur. That is the one complaint I have with it, and it's not horrible. You're just going to get maybe 4 to 5 hours of performance out of it, and then it's pretty much going to die. But it's so good. That apple, it's just apple with a slight tobacco under it. Honestly, in my opinion, an all year round fragrance, I would highly recommend it. Dude, it's like, I think I paid $21 for this, so, and it's totally worth it. It smells amazing for 21 bucks. Now, granted, the bottle, I hate the bottle, dude. I don't know what they were thinking with this bottle. It is terrible. But other than that, who cares? We're worried about the juice that's inside, and this is good stuff. Lattafa Jasur, 21 bucks, perfect clone of Coral Fantasy. Last but not least, another PDM clone. This is gonna be French Avenue's Aether Straight, clone of Greenlee. And man, I just made a review of this a couple weeks ago, and I've had this for probably a few months now. I've had mine, and I just made the review a couple weeks ago. But man, the more I wear this, the more I smell it, the more I love it. This stuff, as a clone of Greenlee, is perfect. So let's get that out of the way. But the scent profile, I'm like, it's slowly becoming my favorite fragrance, honestly. Definitely the most worn since it started warming up. It's so good. If you want to smell just like, it just kind of smells like nature. Kind of smells like a forest, you know. If you smell Greenlee, you know what I'm talking about. Woody, cedary, slightly fruity, a little bit of apple in there. It's so good. Aether Straight. If I were to lose my whole collection, the first clone that I'm going to buy is Aether Straight. This is the first purchase I'm making. I mean, I got, you know, a decent sized dent in the bottle, and I've had it for not that long. And this is a pretty big dent because I have quite a lot of fragrances. So for me to have that big of a dent that quick shows you that I'm wearing it. Super nice bottle, shattered glass look. Again, a super nice atomizer, pressurized. Bunch comes out. Highly recommended, man. French Avenue, this is some of their best work right there. French Avenue's, you know, one thing I'm noticing, they're really stepping their game up. A lot of their new fragrances are awesome, but Aether Straight, I love it. Perfect clone of Greenlee. And anyways, it's gonna do it for me. Like I said, if you're into content like this, drop a like, subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's cool too. And I will catch y'all in the next one.